And welcome back, SpeedGaming. We are gearing up for Game 2 of this best of 3 series in Losers Finals between Reseren and Lenophis. For those just joining us, I am Autumn Out of Habit, being joined once again by Army of One.
Hello.
And for Race 2, we have a tracker.
Woohoo!
Summer has agreed to help us with tracking. That way, you can just hear whatever nonsense Army and I come up with without us having to pay attention to the race.
Oh, this is the best sort of. this is the best sort of race for us.
Yeah, and speaking of a race, we'll have it in 30 seconds.
Yeah, I had a little bit of weirdness out of your mic earlier as well, just at the very beginning, Autumn. But it's definitely passed. I didn't know if it was my end or not, but looks like we have in chat a couple of comments.
Oh, I will have to figure that out then.
Yeah, it was like it went to like a lower bit rate or something, like super compressed. It was. Oh, I had it too. Okay, so it was not on not just my side. Okay, SpeedGaming.
I'm willing to blame Discord for this one. But speaking of this one, we have this race, Game 2, Reseren taking Game 1. So it's do or die for Lenophis. Of course, the winner of this set will go on to Grand Finals to get a rematch with Hercules Bench Press, having knocked both of these runners into loser's bracket. The loser's out of the tournament. And as we get started, we all know here that the first item will be one of Morph Ball, Missiles, or Speed Booster. Army, what do you think we're going to have in store for this game 2?
Hey chat, flip a coin. If it's heads, it's missiles. If it's tails, it is Speed Booster. And if it lands on its side, it's going to be a Morph Ball start. That's how this is going to go.
I think we're going to have a missile start here. We've gone a little while without one. I would love to see a Morph Ball start, as those are the spiciest seeds, but probably not in the cards, and our runners are off, so in a little under a minute, we will see what that first item is. Reseren getting tripped up a couple of times in the climb, still finishing just about a second ahead of Lenophis.
And this time you are, in fact, listening to Reseren's audio. We got that up and running in between the races.
Always great when the technical issues can be resolved. And our runners are on their way up to the main elevator. Chat, I also want to ask, while we're getting this all started, what do we think is going to be go mode today?
I mean, we were very close to a high jump go mode. Very close.
I would love to see a missile go mode. We've got speed start number 2.
Looks like we got tails. Gravity go mode. Gravity go mode would be a bit interesting.
It used to feel like we got that almost as often as plasma hunts, but that has not been panning out lately.
So Reseren took the first race against Lenophis. So this is do or die for Leno right now. He needs to win this race in order to keep his tournament dreams alive. But, I mean, both of these runners have just done great in this tournament. Both of them absolutely deserve. Third place in this tournament is really, really good.
Yeah, I mean, Lenophis made it to winners finals. Reseren made it to winners semis. So these runners both had a deep run. And they just ran into the movable wall that has been Hercules bench press in this tournament. Reseren, the only runner who has taken a game off of him all tournament. And just some trash at the top of main elevator. Because this is difficulty 2, we are pretty much guaranteed that our runners will be going to Sector 2. I know Reseren prefers to go Sector 1 first when he's able to. But right now, we are going to get our cargo jump check, level 1 Lux, and the Sector 2 data room. One of those two is pretty much guaranteed to be a major, unless the seed is very cursed and put progression in Sector 3. So let's see what we find.
Well, that's 1 out of 3.
Energy at the cargo.
And Lenophis accidentally dropping his speed booster charge by hitting that Zoro on the wall. Man, I hate these things. Like, they do so much damage when you don't have any suits. You're very low health right now. They take a lot if you don't have missiles or charge. It's just not a good time.
It makes it an absolute worst to find an energy tank here at Kago because it is not progression. We do have double red X from that Kago as Reseren opens up level 1 security.
Double red X all the way?
Makes it hard to die.
What does it mean?
Not hard to die, but harder to die.
Easier to live.
Tomato, tomato. This is the quality commentary that you come here for, folks, right? Did I just technically give everyone the food space on their bingo card? Oh, I have scammed myself. But we have missiles at the Sector 2 data room. That is not a scam. And that means we are very likely... I think we're going to see Reseren go up to fight Arachnus, but this also does give us logical access to Sector 1. If I had to guess, I think we see Res go to Arachnus, I think we see Leno go Sector 1. And Lenophis getting the Swag Shine Spark to go over to the Sector 2 data room. Oh,
Lenophis picking up his own missiles. Let's see, that's where missile data is.
Both runners have to be very happy to see missiles early after the shenanigans that were last seed. And Reseren is going up to main deck. Now, Reseren making a bit of a gamble here. If one of the 5 items in the Arachnus area is not Morph Ball, he will not have a way out.
So, at least he's getting 5 checks worth of info. But at worst, that's also a soft reset and a reset save and quit somewhere.
But Leno making the same play.
So did Rez make a save at the top of Sector 2?
I believe he did. There's no way he makes this play without doing that.
So I definitely agree with this. And like, I was wrong last time because we did need power bombs in order to get screw attack and high jump for the last seed, which was hidden up here in the Arachnus area. But with missiles so early on, even without Morph Ball, it's highly you're going to find something here like Gravity Suit. This seed might be over quicker than we thought it might be.
I don't know. The seeds that look like an early jet often are not. And we don't know if our runners will get to keep the Gravity Suit or if they're going to have to come back here later. Although it is a good thing for both of them that they're both coming for the information, so not giving their opponent a big advantage.
Reseren going for the double, but unfortunately missing it. Lenophis also finding the Gravity Suit.
And we've got an E-Tank up here. Always have to find one of them up by Arachnus, and we've got 2 E-Tanks here. Reseren says,
okay,
yes,
so
I think I will.
This is do or die, reset or not.
Are we getting
Vanilla Morph?
Or are we getting a pair of resets here?
That was a very quick fight. Always nice to have extra missiles to fight that guy. And
Yeah, when
nice
you're playing
double.
vanilla, you have 20 missiles going in there, and you need 15 of them for the kill, and Morph Ball not up there. Our runners... It'll be interesting to see when our runners decide to go back up for Gravity Suit. And Reseren did save at the top of Sector 2. I wonder if we're going to see him make the Sector 3 checks before going into Sector 1. We are. Only 2 checks to make in Sector 3, but at the same time, if you find those going into Sector 1, and if Morph Ball is here, this is basically playing shallow to deep, and you don't like to go into Sector 1 without Morph Ball if you can help it, because about half of the sector is gated off by Morph Ball.
Not only that, it's a late half of the sector. You have to go very deep into the sector. But
we've got high jump at the Telltale Heart. Our runners find
this seed is apologizing to our runners. It's like, the last one is a bit rough. Don't worry, I got you covered. Here's some missiles. Here's a nice jump.
And Leno making all the same decisions as Reseren. He's
early grab too, yeah.
I feel like I've been seeing a lot of early grab lately. Leno making a save at the top of Sector 3, preparing for there not to be anything, but we've got Varia Suit, which will make it easier to get out of the monkey bars area, so we know where both suits are. We know where high jump is. And have to assume that both of our runners will keep these items. And with this out of the way, it's possible that we could see a Sector 4 play, but I think we see both of our runners make their way into Sector 1 at this point.
Well, no, Morph Ball means no access to...
Oh, yeah, we don't have Morph Ball or Bomb, so you can't get into Sector 4, so... Ignore me,
so
I don't know what I'm doing. I am wrong out of habit.
Leno also picking up his Varia suit. Reseren checking his map. Well, I guess you gotta go into Sector 1. Or... not.
I think Reseren is making the same mistake I just made. Looking at what he has.
And turning around.
Realizing that he cannot get into Sector 4. Chat hoping for a bombless seed, which would be nice. Rez, what are you doing? You can't get out of there. Did Reseren just forget that Sector 1 exists? Or forget that he has missiles?
He has missiles.
Yeah, does he know that?
He just pressed the missile button. I mean, I've had some strange entrances into Sector 1, but this is not one of them.
Unless there is... Well, no, he doesn't have an ice source to even try to clip out of bounds. Resetting out. Looks like Reseren having as much of an idea as we have what he was trying to accomplish. We've got a major at the Hornode hole. We can't get that just yet. But Morph Ball has to be at the Lava Dive or on the Crab Guardian.
And Reseren missing Sector 1 again. And Lenophis finding his Morph Ball.
Yeah, so Sector 1 is the play. Now, if you're Leno...
Reseren has remembered Sector 1.
If you're Leno, do you go back up for the Hornode hole now, or do you just get it on the way out of the sector, given that At this point, you're going to do the whole Sector 1 loop. That's pretty much a given.
If I was going to... So, if you're going to do the Sector 1 loop, absolutely. Well, no, so if you're going to do the Sector 1 loop, I'll rephrase, you get it on the way out. But if you decide, okay, so Sector 1 loop, the rest of it is just the Crab Guardian, the Crab Rave, above Charge Core, and Charge Core, so that's 4 checks that... Not exactly the fastest checks in the world. I guess there's also the first wall jump, but you can also sort of get that on the way out. So 4 checks, takes a while to get through the stabilizer vents. I wouldn't fault anyone for doubling back, grabbing the major, checking wall jump, and then just leaving 4 checks at the bottom of Sector 1.
Yeah, Reseren finding his morph ball as well. And that was farming for Green X that we just saw on Lenophis' screen. So enjoy your bingo square, chat. Crab Guardian just holding on to some energy tank today. And Lenophis will take it.
I'm sure that Lenophis is feeling much better about this seed compared to last one. He knows where he's going, and he's going there fast.
And we are going to get some more Green X farm.
We are at full health now, so it's only going to be Green X from now, so that's very nice.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see any Ghidorah bubbles here from Leno, though. Hopefully he doesn't get trolled too much. And
he didn't get trolled at all.
This is game 2 of the Best of 3 series. Reseren up 1-0.
So in order to get these Hornodes, you need to shoot the first one straight on, but then immediately angle down, just like that.
Yeah, not terribly difficult to get, but definitely a little bit of a trick to it. And Reseren,
E-Tank,
one of the best at movement in this game, is making up some of that lost time on Leno here. He also is going in with 7 missiles, so we won't see him needing to farm off the Hornodes. And we have bombs on Charge Core.
Bombs on Charge Core. So very much the correct decision to continue with the Sector 1 loop.
You know what's really fun? This is putting Watering Hole in logic now. Our runners don't have a way to check it unless they just want to go for an insanely tight strat to try to get it without gravity, but we know where gravity is, and we know gravity is accessible. The question is,
and we have Morph Ball so we can get out.
Yeah, the question is, when do our runners go back for it?
That is a cursed loop-de-loop of a route, if I've ever heard of one.
But let's see what's at Baby's first wall jumps, and we know we also have the Major at the Hornode hole to see on the way out. Get some energy at the top of the wall jumps. And you know, it's some great story progression from Super Metroid here. In Super Metroid, the Etecoons teach Samus how to wall jump up. But in Fusion, she's already learned it, so she doesn't need a guide to jump up Baby's first wall jumps there. And we have a screw attack on the way out of Sector 1.
Time to go on an adventure, folks. But this is also an excellent way if you want to move into Sector 3 to unlock those green doors.
I don't think you do that. I think you go up and get Gravity Suit from Arachnus, and then run straight for level 4s. Since we are not running with split security, 4s will open 2s as well.
That's true.
And we have everything we need to open up red locks. I, of course, am always of the opinion that when you can open red locks, you do it. So, I know if I were running this race, I would be on my way up for gravity, and it looks like Lenophis agrees. He'll also be able to check the cubbyhole item that we haven't seen yet. And Reseren with some beautiful shot cancels to climb back up to the Hornode hole. And chat is asking what go mode is for this randomizer, so we need charge beam, missiles, plasma beam, one of high jump or space jump, and red locks to start the ending fight sequence. And red locks also requires speed booster and gravity suit on top of all of that,
along
as
with
well as
more
a
fall
way out of
bombs
lower sector
or a way
4.
out. Mm-hmm.
And yeah, chat asking about how they would get out of lower sector 4, and the fastest way with the current equipment would be to run along lower sector 4 and screw down into sector 2, or possibly climb up into sector 6.
Yeah, it's a little unfortunate that that's the fastest way, because I do like myself a pretty fancy half-secret message, but that's just slightly slower to get out of sector 4 that way.
And that's even if you get it the first try. And our runners know there's nothing on Arachnus, so they won't need to fight it or make any of the other checks here. With screw attack, they don't even have to morph ball away from Arachnus, they can just screw through the floor.
Lenophis going for those doubles again, but unfortunately getting denied. And Lenophis just leaves.
Can't
In
say I
fact,
blame him.
Reseren is screwing in from the bottom.
Yeah, that is the
Lenophis
smarter play,
is-
I would say.
Reseren is not screwing in from the bottom?
I think Reseren wants the missile expansion. Yeah, he's already thinking of possibly fighting bosses, and knowing that he doesn't have any missile upgrades, and might be fighting Ice Core with just base missiles. I think it's the right play, and definitely a bit of a time save to go in through the bottom. Also, honestly, I think fighting Arachnus when you have screw attack is faster than going a long way around. But Leno's still with a bit of a lead, going back down into the sectors, and I think we're going to see him go through Sector 5, or Sector 3
Reseren
and
getting
5.
trolled by that door.
You hate to see it. And I forget, I think it was missiles to the left of gravity suit. I imagine we see Res pick those up as well. And I imagine right.
So that eye door it's still there. Even if you come out of the door with the eye door, the door is locked from the left side.
Oddly enough, I'm always surprised to see that eye door when I come out from backdooring Arachnus, even though I know it's
how did
there.
I leave there?
Lenova's not picking up any missile expansions. If he doesn't find a missile upgrade, this could hurt him against the Ice Cores. It takes 24 base missiles to take it out. So that's quite a bit of farming. And getting trolled by the beam hitbox on that shutter. And just some trash up in the crow's nest, so not even worth.
Now, Lenophis is a man on a mission right now, going directly for those red locks.
Yeah, I mean, he knows that it's do or die in this race. If he doesn't win this one, he's out. And I know that he wants to win the whole thing.
I was just about to say, he doesn't have any ice. He can't. Oh, he has screw attack. Never mind. Sometimes the The simplest explanations are just staring right in front of you.
And welcome to our Raiders. We are in Game 2 of this best-of-3 matchup in Losers Finals of the Metroid Fusion Open Randomizer Tournament.
Reseren
took
taking
Game
ice
1.
missiles.
That will definitely be helpful for the Ice Core fight. Right now, Lenophis in the lead. I don't think Ice Missiles changed that at all, but that could change depending on what Reseren finds in Sector 2. As we are either on a charge hunt or a plasma hunt.
We're on a beam hunt. Lenophis not even picking up the E-Tag. No thanks.
Yeah,
4 E-Tanks is more than
E-Tanks.
enough for me. Though, he doesn't have any missile upgrades.
Yeah, and Leno is going to be the first to open red blocks here. Doesn't really open much of the station at this point, but what this does for him is whenever he finds his go mode, now he doesn't have to run through here to do that. He can just go straight up. And Reseren backdooring into lower Sector 4, and we might see him going to Sector 6.
Well, Red Locks doesn't specifically open anything, but that also, as we mentioned earlier, unlocks green and yellow locks. So 2, 3, 4, and 5 wide open, as well as 6.
Yeah, although 5 we do still have a couple of checks that will... A lot of 5 checks will require power bombs, and Reseren going to give us some Sector 6 checks. We haven't seen it as much lately, but the first 2 or 3 checks in Sector 6 seem to have a very high percentage of items. Just some missiles at the start. Reseren can't decide if he wants them. And Leno opening the way to Sector 6, but he's going to check the data room at least before going there. The question is, does he do anything else before he goes? Meanwhile, Reseren finding some trash, and I can't believe it's not Sector 5.
Also, without opening up those 2 missile blocks, you're kind of stuck here without a way through those POW amps. So you have to open up those 2 missile blocks if you want to get out of this area without ice.
I mean, you could alternately just fall all the way down into Sector 2.
Right, but you can't break open the bottom missiles unless you've already destroyed the top missiles.
That is a very good call, Army. I'm just wrong. And Leno heading over to Sector 6. Now, with his red doors open, he will be able to, if he decides to go for the loop here, he'll be able to check Mama Garubis as well as... I can't believe it's not Sector 6, but we have a major at Pillar Highway.
Major at Pillar Highway.
Bench press in shambles. And we have power bombs.
Hercules bench press. Absolutely vindicated. Herc's least favorite item, his least favorite spot.
I mean, we just saw a power bombs required seed, so stranger things have happened. At this point, the entire BSL research station is available to our runners. Especially once Lenophis picks up those power bombs, and he is just checking this one item, not giving us a Mama Garubis check.
Now, getting out of Turian might be interesting, but it's got to be in logic somewhere. We just haven't found the space jump. Also, good point, Pikmin. Good luck fighting box with only 20 missiles. And no charge beam.
With only 20 base missiles, there's not enough. It has, I believe, 500 health. And Leno getting a little hung up on the one pillar. Going to find his power bombs as well. At this point, other than bosses, everything in the station is pretty much in logic for him.
And Reseren hasn't opened up his green locks, so in a heads-up play, he has to go around the data room. And finding... Ooh, wide beam. Nice.
Yeah, not what our runners are looking for at this point, but also something they're never upset to see. And some missiles in the ceiling. Reseren will be trapped down here. He's going to save so that he can... No, he's not going to save. He's just abandoning Wine Cellar. Or no, he checked Wine Cellar. What am I talking about?
Yeah, Wine Cellar was just a missile expansion. Lenophis, on the other hand, can actually make the full loop and go through the data room.
Yeah, although he still won't be able to fight Megacore, as it does not spawn unless runners have Charge Beam in order to be able to damage it. And Reseren will have to go all the way back through Sector 2 in order to get out of here.
Lenophis spotting his wide beam. Just a little bit for an up and around. And Reseren making his way into the upper Sector 2 loop.
Yeah, we haven't seen this yet, so definitely some good options. Reseren is absolutely putting off opening those level 4 security locks. It's a bold play, and we'll have to see if it pays off. I don't think he has the ammo to take out Notori without having Charge Beam at this point. I haven't done the full math on his power bomb reserves as well as his missiles.
Right, so Notori is 2,000 health, right?
Yeah, 2,000.
Right.
Or is it 2,000 or 2,500?
I think it was just 2,000.
Yeah, and any power bomb expansion now is an extra 100 damage. But also, Reseren just likes to use power bombs to get through, especially Sector 2. There's so much that you can open more quickly. Just
Especially
through the Zoros.
And this Morph Bomb maze just takes forever to get through, just waiting for those bombs to go off. Lenophis heading back into Sector 1. I can imagine that he's going to screw into Sector... He's leaving Sector 1.
I think he's realizing that lower sector, or that going into Terrian, not going to be enough of a yield, as he needs at least 2 items down there to even get out.
Oasis just has missiles, and Wonderwall, another major.
Charge Beam at Wonderwall. And just with that, we have Reseren taking the lead. Although I think it's a little tenuous to call it a lead here. But Leno just has so much available to check that have to wonder when he's going to go to lower sector 2. The real question is, are we going to be seeing Gary today? And are we going to get to see one of the fun races where one runner's looking for charge and one is looking for plasma? Always love it when we have asynchronous go modes. And just some missiles at the lava maze, and we are not going to see Imposter Professor Oak today. We are going to see Zazabi, though. Both of our runners with some very coherent routing, just making different decisions. And really the difference, because each runner has one thing that the other doesn't, is that Reseren knows he has to go open red doors. Leno doesn't know he has to go to lower sector 2. And we have got just missiles on Zazabi, but let's see what's at the speedway. Meanwhile, Leno giving us a treat, going to go up the garbage chute.
I think he's going to first do the speed booster that I was talking about on the Nova stairs. Or he's going to attempt it. But he sees that it's only subtract, so he doesn't even need to.
Yeah, that would be just a waste of time. And we've got some missiles back in the garbage chute, as well as some more trash.
And Reseren making his way into the Notori overground area using power bombs to come up from Zazabi.
Now the question is, are we going to see vanilla plasma at this point?
Stranger things have happened.
I mean, of bosses other than Chargecore and Arachnus, I feel like Notori seems to be the next most frequent to have a major. Meanwhile, Leno giving us the upper sector 3 checks. I know word's good. Using power bombs to find more power bombs.
English fun, words good.
And we are not going to see Notori today. I don't blame Reseren for that. Not the most time-effective play. He knows he still hasn't done his red locks, hasn't checked Sector 5 at all. A lot of options still on the table. Speaking of Sector 5, Leno will be giving us a look into that. And Tryhard sounds fake.
The wordsonator. Reseren making his way into Sector 3. He should be making his way towards level 4 locks at this point, but it's hard to say. I do like how level 4s unlock level 3s as well. Makes Sector 5 so much easier, as Lenophis is showing us right now.
Yeah, and just some small routing differences. We see Leno going through and then screw attacking through that Garrett. Whereas Reseren, when he does that room, would use the power bomb to clear it up before he gets there. Just some small micro optimizations that over the course of a run can add up to a little bit of time. And that's just what you get. Reseren, one of the top hundo runners in this game, as well as many other categories and a tasser, so good at knowing a lot of ways to get through rooms optimally.
Actually, Lenophis was saying that he was watching one of Reseren's tasses right before the races. So I wonder if Reseren put out something new recently.
That's a good question. I know I personally have used Reseren's videos to learn how to do some clips.
Are you talking about the one clip that you know about right now? We do have something in the speed trap plasma. We're in go mode. Let's go,
We
folks.
are in go mode 38 minutes and 12 seconds. Reseren, you're welcome for that plasma. Apparently, no hard feelings for beating me. And now Reseren just needs to go open his red blocks. Meanwhile, Leno resetting out of lower sector 5, not finding anything there. But at this point, it's Reseren's race to lose, as Charge and Plasma are in very different locations. And surprisingly, since we've been in top 6, we've seen every series decided in 2 games. It looks like that is going to hold up for this losers finals matchup.
Let's just watch grand finals go for six games because
the world
of the
I'd like to
bracket
live in.
reset.
That is absolutely a world I would like to live in. And we've got a major
Lenophis.
powerbomb locked Ice Beam in upper sector 4. That would be nice to have, although with the beam combination Reseren has, he has enough to stunlock the Omega. He fortunately has not found the wave beam, which messes up the hitbox and makes it so you can't get that stunlock. And he has ice missiles for the SAX stunlock. At this point, I think it's pretty safe to say that Leno is cooked in this one.
Leno is solidly ahead. Reseren. Reseren is solidly ahead.
That was the opposite
Leno,
of correct,
yeah,
Army.
like, wait a
I'm supposed to
moment.
be the wrong one. But yeah, because we know both places that Leno has to go. And we know he's not there. And also, I think we're going to see a Saris fight from him.
We do have missiles and we do have morph ball bombs, so we can get there.
And we are going to get there. I can't remember if Wave Beam reduces the or if Ice Beam reduces the damage enough that you are not able to one-shot Saris.
One-shotting is tight and tricky at best, so it's hard to tell, even if Lenophis doesn't get the one shot.
With just charge wide, it's pretty easy, because especially if you run vanilla at all and you learn the setup for Saris with just charge beam, it's the same first hit when you have charge wide, except then with the flare, you're doing over 50 damage, because 45 just from the shots, I forget how much from the flares. Leno opting to go with missiles today, though. Because he doesn't have charge beam. I'm good at knowing what our runners have. Meanwhile,
I've been paying attention. Reseren freezing the SAX, getting that nice diagonal lock on it, and already the SAX is down. Time for the Hornode.
It felt like there was some anger behind those shots too. And the most cursed Hornode in the game doesn't even have time to be properly cursed. Meanwhile, Leno's still.
I would actually really like. I would really like if that second phase was more involved instead of just sort of jumping around. Like, it does have an arm cannon. Use it, please! It'd be so cool. But unfortunately for it, It's
Super's on
dead real quick.
Ceres.
Snooper Ceres?
Okay, I called a major on Ceres in one seed. I just got the wrong one. And actually, we don't know what Ceres had in that first seed. Unless someone wants to run it back.
Well, it would have had to be either Supers or Space.
Yeah, and we've got another major on Ceres Escape, so Sector 4 is stacked today. Just not with anything we need. This is probably going to be Wave Beam?
It's Wave Beam indeed.
There weren't many other options. So Lenophis just making his gun worse. Meanwhile, let's see if Reseren is going to validate this run as well. Getting the swag weave down between the platforms once again. And getting the
unfortunately dropping it.
Height. Just a little late there. And I don't think we're going to see this Omega Metroid for very long here. Chat is correct that Reseren is at 1 HP, but oh, he just turned orange and refilled all his health. And is now just unlocking the Omega with just absolute fury. And with that, get your GGs here. Reseren taking this best of 3 losers final series with an official racetime.gg time of 45 minutes and 1 second. GG to Reseren. We will be moving on to Grand Finals against Hercules Bench Press. And Lenophis still running, and we're on a 10-minute delay, so he's determined to see this one through. But it looks like we are going to have Reseren joining us. And speaking of, GG Reseren, great job on this series win.
You've clawed your way back out of the lower bracket and are once again faced with Hercules Bench Press. How are you feeling about the upcoming rematch? Fine. Excellent.
And making all of the right decisions in this second game.
No. I did not. I went on a little bit of an adventure in Sector 6 that really got me nothing, so...
Yeah, you actually both did that at roughly the same time. The difference was Leno did that after opening his level 4s. And he is just now on his way. He still needs Charge Beam and Plasma. Just on his way to find Charge Beam pretty soon here. But a big difference was just Leno decided to go through Upper Sector 4, and it was pretty stacked, but nothing that we needed.
Yeah, we had Supers on Ceres, and then Wave Beam on the way out. And Lenophis picking up his Charge Beam right now.
First charge again, I can't remember.
It was in Wonderwall, under Oasis.
2 games in a row where that's an item. Interesting.
Yeah, double majors there for the first game. Definitely something that chat always likes to see. And chat, if you have any questions for Reseren, feel free to drop them in the chat and we will gladly ask. Toxic Summer in chat is asking you, Reseren, how you feel about your chances against Turk.
I'd say 50-50. I think we're pretty equal, so.
And
Turk's in chat.
Hercules has in chat snubbing that answer. I know the real winners in that are us viewers, though, getting to see potentially up to 6 games of the highest level Metroid Fusion rando play.
Please no. That's too many games.
Oh, for better or worse, I do have all 6 seeds generated and ready to go.
You need at least 4 of them to take the tournament.
Oh,
And
I
you are
hope
the
that we're
only...
going to space those out if that happens. What were you going to say, though?
Oh, I'm just going to comment on, you are the only person who has managed to take a game off of Herc so far in this tournament, so...
Yeah, the last game was only a 8-second difference, right?
FPiz wants to know if you will run milk.
I will run milk now. I'm not doing that. Sorry. Sorry, FPiz.
Sorry, Adam. Going
I
thirsty
did see
tonight.
that you did the task of that, though, which was
It's
pretty
like-
fun.
It's only 50 seconds long. I was like, bored. I guess I'll do this. But that's all I'm gonna do with that, though.
Chat is saying that Adam needs milk and he's dying if you don't go get it for him. So, guess Adam will just have to stay in shambles.
I mean, he does canonically die, so, you know.
And yeah, Herc, I think it would be a good idea to start practicing that clip.
I mean, we've seen a seed where everything just lined up perfectly, and it would have, in fact, it did save a heck of a lot of time.
Yeah, fortunately, that's a fairly easy clip to do if you have the right equipment for it.
The setup and the RNG is the worst part, by far.
Oh, absolutely. I think that in your last series, you probably would have gone for it rather than going the long way, even in the first game, if it weren't for needing the RNG on both crabs to really line up for you.
Yeah, well, I didn't know I haven't practiced the screwless setup for the clip in the next room, so I didn't bother trying to do that.
Ah, that makes sense. Yeah, I didn't know how to do that setup until after our matches.
Yeah, I mean, most clips are pretty easy, to be honest, like, once you get out of bounds. The hard part is getting out of bounds, though.
Yeah, it's mostly just knowing what you need to do and then what steps you need to take once you're out. I know I, for one, am looking forward to future versions of the randomizer potentially having some clips available in them.
Yeah, even like plandos and stuff, you can just put items, and even without a mode that you need flipping logic, somebody could still theoretically place items in certain locations that you can only get to through flipping.
Man, Plandos are gonna just be so mean.
I can't wait to make some plandos.
There are a ton of clips where you can only get like one item. Like putting bombs at like the bottom of Sector 6 or something.
Yeah, or I
But
think
you
you showed off a
can do
setup
that.
for bombs at the very bottom of Sector 2, and you need it to be bombs if you want to get out?
Yeah, you'd have to do 2 clips. You'd have to do the first one in the big room at the top, and then you'd have to do another clip at the very bottom.
Yeah, I know that is definitely a world I want to see, where we have a tournament where we just have some much crazier routing options. Because with the current version of the logic, a lot of the routing is fairly straightforward as far as what you can get, just because it's a newer randomizer and not a whole ton of stuff that is logically required in terms of tricks, but seeing some of the harder seeds run at the top level, I think would be just a great experience all around.
Yeah, once you get speed and bombs, in my opinion, it opens up too much, and then at that point, you're just kind of guessing where to go.
Yeah, I think my least favorite for that is power bombs. I love having them for getting through rooms, but power bombs give you a couple of checks just about everywhere, and it's really hard to know which ones you want to follow them to.
Yeah, it's picking up the crumbs. And we're going to get a Crumble City check. Let's see, were we missing? We were missing a Space Jump. We don't know where that is.
We haven't found Space Jump in either seed today.
Don't get me started on that first seed.
This seed apologized you for that first seed. Oh, late gravity, late missiles, late high jump. Here, don't worry about it. We got you covered.
Although, that just reminded me of a question. I have to ask just about that play and missing Sector 1 early on.
Yeah.
Curious if there was some thought behind that, or if you just kind of forgot about Sector 1 for a moment.
I forgot about Sector 1. I was like, oh shit. Whoops.
The game starts at Sector 2, right? Right?
I went into Sector 2, and then I got, I think, Various Suit or something, and then I got Morph Ball in Sector 3, and then I went up to Arachnus, got Gravity Suit, and then I forgot I had missiles, and I was like, wait, is this beatable? Oh wait, there's Sector 1.
Yeah, we were watching that, and we were like, not sure what Reseren's doing.
It
Also
wasn't
not
my
sure if
brightest
Reseren's
moment.
sure.
Luckily, it didn't take me like a really long time to figure it out. I was like, oh wait, Sector 1, okay.
Well, this seems much kinder to you than to Leno. Even with the 10-minute delay, Leno is still going.
Yeah, he still hasn't finished in the race chat, so. But that first seed, I think, was kind of evil, but I like the logic in getting some of the items. You had to use unconventional methods to get a lot of those.
Yeah, it was absolutely cursed, but it's the kind of cursed seed that's at least really interesting.
Right, like you had to knock off the slug and then freeze it to get a high jump, unless you did like a bomb jump or something.
And right now,
And
Herc's asking if Leno's anywhere near where he needs to be, and no.
Leno.
Lukewarm, I suppose, looping around, yeah.
Lower Sector 6 is where he needs to go. It is in the ceiling above Megacore. Getting colder though, but get your cat jams in chat. We are getting a cat jam world tour here.
Oh. Plasma Beam in this seed is in the speed trap in Sector 5. High jump last time was in that Sector 6 location.
Yeah, I'm suffering from a little bit of second seed syndrome here.
It's
Can happen to runners.
Yeah, I'm well aware of that feeling. It's like, wait, did I go there this time, or was that like an hour ago?
I mean, I can just say any location for where Plasma is because it's got to have been there at some point. I was even thinking of the wrong item. I was just incredibly wrong.
Yeah, you were thinking of high jump last seed.
I mean, I don't think anyone has ever accused me of making sense on commentary.
I believe that's true.
And let's see, just missiles at Xbox.
But we do get Cat Jam World Tour.
We do. And it could be a while because we don't have many majors left for Leno to find.
is... Oh, that's right, Leno got wave beam.
He did. That was Enceris escape. And so we're going to see him go into Turian without space jump. I'm not sure how practiced he is at getting out with freezing the pirates. Although I have to assume he would just reset out at that point because he hasn't found anything of value here.
And there's only 2 checks that he can make, within logic at least. Ridley, unfortunately, will not be getting an appearance today. Unless
we still have
Ridley's...
as many as 6 possible chances the rest of the tournament. But I suppose, Army, only you know for sure if that's going to be required. And even you probably forgot at this point.
Oh no, I've absolutely forgotten. The only seed that I remembered was the second seed that was played, Res versus Ivan.
I would honestly say that seed 1 in this race was more cursed than that one was.
Terrible.
And there's the reset.
Yeah, good play. Not worth trying to claw your way out of Sector 1 to keep some missile expansions. Unfortunately, that will end our Cat Jam World Tour ending.
Yeah.
At some point, we will have Leno finish here, though. Going to give us some main deck checks, so... not on the right path just yet. But also, Leno running out of checks that he can make. The real question is, are the animals getting saved today? And with just a missile pack, that will not be happening.
That was the first seed summer, not this one.
In this seed, a plasma beam is in the speed trap, or as some people call it, my room. All because I just decided to call it back in the early days of rando races. And a couple people in chat scold me when I don't take credit for that room anymore. So at least I'm not the only person mixing up what seed we're on. Although, Summer, you get more points over me because you at least got a plasma location. Do we think we're going to see Leno try to fight Yak without space jump?
Hard to say.
Cryhard, if someone tells me where I can get a Ceres plushie, I will consider it. Just because I feel like I owe them one. You know, I have to say, I don't think we'll see a Yakuza fight because you need space to get out of there. And there's nothing else that space is going to unlock that Leno hasn't seen. We know the answer is that Leno needs to go to Sector 5. However, it doesn't appear that Leno knows that's the answer, as he is making his way towards Sector 6.
He does have the lower half of Sector 6 to still check.
He does. I honestly don't remember what was down there in the seed.
I don't think it was anything important.
Although we never saw Megacore, and Leno will be able to show us that.
Oh no, we have seen second seed syndrome. So Reseren didn't fight Barrier Core because he didn't have Charge Beam at the time. In fact, he didn't even have green locks open. So he went to check the wine solve and double backed and did sort of a horseshoe.
Also, Kaz, thank you for making me feel better about all of the times that I've called Megacore Charge Core. At least I'm not the
It's
only one.
the core that needs charge.
Yeah, I don't think I want to catch on the Need Charge Core as the name for that boss. I've caught on enough nonsense in this game already. But Leno running out of places to check. So it looks like this might be over soon. I mean, the race part is already over, but we still have more fusion for you. And as we see Leno making his way up to find his plasma beam, let's take a look at what else we have on the schedule today. Not a very stacked day, but we have already going on in SpeedGaming 2, Link to the Past Randomizer League Invitational. Looks like it is a swordless run. We also have more Link to the Past Rando on SpeedGaming 3 coming up at 4:10 Eastern. At 7:40 Eastern, yet more Link to the Past, and more at 11 p.m. Eastern. So if you like Link to the Past Randomizer, it is a good day on SpeedGaming for you. If you don't like Link to the Past Randomizer, I don't think we have much for you. But Lenophis finally in go mode, and we will see him make his way through the rest of the game.
And for the final time in lower bracket, the SAX has challenged another runner.
Yeah, Leno has not found ice missiles, and not even trying for the ice beam stun lock. I can't blame him. The ice beam stun lock can go south really fast. I think I have died to that more times than I've actually gotten it, but we have the last of the day of the most cursed Hornode in the game. Looks like Leno doing well with those doubles. Propulsion sequence activated. Destination SR 388. And we've got chat asking where ice missiles were, and I don't.
That's a good question. Hey, Reseren, where did you find ice missiles again? On the station. The ice missiles were on the station.
Once you do enough of these seeds, everything kind of blends together.
Yeah, a bit. Especially when you do them back to back.
MST, I don't even know what chaotic settings you have put in that you're finding ice missiles on the laser bridge of Misery Mire.
And Summer is absolutely correct. It was the Sector 1-2 connection above the green door in Sector 1.
Yeah, that is correct. I totally forgot about that. I mean, at this point, we've seen over 2 hours of Metroid Fusion action today, so hard to keep it all straight when we've seen so much of the station. Oh, dropping the stun.
But picking it right back up.
And get your GG in chat for the last time of the lower bracket as Leno finishing in second place with an official racetime.gg time of 1 hour, 10 minutes, and 12 seconds. And coming in third place in the tournament, definitely none too shabby. But with this, our grand finals matchup, we'll have one of the faces that we usually see in it in any Metroid Fusion tournament. As Reseren, no stranger to grand finals. Just, usually it's against Scotty and not Herc. And we are being joined by Lenophis. GG, Leno.
Hello, GG's.
Yeah, you put on a great show. It was just a little bit unfortunate with the first seed and a little bit unfortunate with the second seed.
That first seed. So I'll run you down what happened. So you see me get gravity early. I felt like that was a pretty good find. Found ice missiles. Like, okay, well, I have ice missiles that'll come in handy, maybe. Asterisk. And then my plan was, okay, let's check Sector 6. Get a Sector 6, missile launcher. It could be there. And I had fully intended to safety save, and I thought I did. And by the time I reset out and noticed back in Sector 4 without a suit, I'm like, oh no. That's when I knew I lost game 1. Like, I wasn't sure if I was going to win without that mistake, but I definitely lost because of that.
Yeah, it definitely would have been a closer race, and especially, we were feeling for you having to retrace your steps to try to find Ice Beam again. And knowing that was your way out of lower 2.
Yeah, and I completely butchered that because I forgot that it was under Saris. I'm like, okay, it has to be in 4. I go back through 4. It's not there. I go back through 2. I'm like, no, it wasn't here because I had Ice Beam by the time I came down here. I go back to 3. No, it wasn't there either. So I am racking my brain. Like, what am I forgetting? Where did I forget to go back to go pick this up? And I had to have spent at least 10-15 minutes just trying to find that Ice Beam again. It hurt. My brain hurt.
Well, that might have hurt your brain, but the rest of the seed was not kind at all. Like plasma.
That's what Reseren was saying. He's like, you're not gonna like where plasma was. Like, oh, okay. I'm like, well, based on the stuff, you know, the intel I had about the game at the time, like, I'm figuring it had to be in Sector 6, and he's like, yeah, it's behind Box 2. Like, oh.
Yeah, in fact, it was the upper one behind Box 2 where you're supposed to freeze the ouch or do some kind of wonky crumble jumps.
The diffusion check, yeah.
Yeah, and it was nearly a high jump go mode seed as well, because high jump was also in Sector 6 behind power bombs, which were at Arachnus. It was a seed.
Power bombs were at Arachnus. Reseren said he forgot, but they were early, and like, okay, well, what's early? And I just kind of didn't think about it from there.
Power bombs on Arachnus that led to screw attack at the reactor. And then both items in Sector 6 in the ceiling above a boss. With high jump above.
And, oh, by the way, and by the way, freeze the caterpillar so you can get up to it. That's that
was interesting.
That's totally a thing that you could be expected to do.
Well, so I think it's more you can grab that item with just a really tight jump without high jump, but freezing those caterpillars to get that extra boost makes it much, much easier. But then you also have if you've grabbed screw attack, that also changes your jump arc. So I'm not exactly sure, but
yeah, screw attack actually makes that harder. I wonder if there's a frame perfect bomb boost to maybe unmorph after the bomb boost to maybe get that, but that obviously requires testing that is beyond my capability.
Right, Rez actually tried that.
Bomb jump.
Rez tried that once. And then you went, you know what? I'm going to respawn these caterpillars and do a cheeky free strat.
Yeah, sometimes it's worth going for the strat that is slower on its own, rather than wasting a bunch of time going for the difficult strat.
But it's faster! And it's pretty much the reason why I lost a Herc in the second race.
I mean, we've seen some really close races in this tournament.
I was just going to say, Army is definitely a member of the Save a Frame, Lose a Second Foundation.
Oh, absolutely.
Sorry, Summer, go ahead.
But as I completely forgot what I was trying to say.
Strats, time. It's better to be consistent if slower, etc.
Oh yeah,
routing.
While we've seen a couple of races in the tournament settled in less than 10 seconds apart, usually you see at least a couple of minutes. So going for a slower strat in one room, not usually the thing that costs you the race.
Ooh, and then there was game 2. Now, game 2, I'm gonna guess, Reseren, you didn't do Arachnus right away. I did. I scouted Gravity Suit very early.
Both of you did. Both of you did right away.
Oh, bummer. I was hoping that that Gravity Suit intel might have given me a little bit of an edge. And then once Screw Attack appeared, like, yep, you know what? We're gonna get Gravity right now. Heck the rest of this. The rest of the game's wide open. Heck us.
Yeah, the big difference. The big difference there is that after you picked up that Gravity and Screw Attack, Leno, you went straight for red doors, whereas Reseren made other checks throughout the station first. So you just had a lot more of the station open to you.
Which included me running around for like 2 minutes, ignoring Sector 1.
Yeah, that was an interesting bit to watch. Going, okay, do I go left? Do I go right? Sector 2? No, Sector 4. Where do I?
Yeah, I feel that. When the seeds are wide open like that, you really got to figure out, okay, what do I want to check? How do I want to route this? And doing that on the fly, it's hard. It is really hard.
That's like, there are two big skills that you need to be a good randomizer player. The first is, your standard execution that a lot of speedruns speedrunners have built up, playing any percent, 100%. But then there's also routing. You have to have a really good sense, a really good feel for where all the items are and how to get there and how to get them quickly. So routing it's the only reason I got within 7 seconds of Herc, really.
It's just a lot of multitasking, and it's really hard to do it like actually in a race setting. It's much easier when you're just looking at the race, right? Because you don't have to actually play it, so you can think about where to go. But when you're actually playing it and thinking about where to go while going fast, it's really tough.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely. So much easier to call out the routes from the booth.
Well, even when you're calling out the route in the booth, it's like, okay, what does this open up? What does that open up? What's the runner gonna do? And then, okay, oops, by the way, we're gonna pull a 180 on you. We're gonna do something else entirely. Like it's exciting to watch, but it's also, what the heck? I love it.
Especially once you get power bombs and screw attack and have everything open, it's like, okay, how do you even guess where the runners are gonna go with that? You get so many options and just have to guess.
So, Reseren, I'm gonna guess Plasma was your go mode for game 2.
Yeah, I went into Sector 5 through Sector 3, and then checked everything on the left, and then went to Red Door.
Oh, you already had ice at that point. I think the first time I was in Sector 5, I just had, was it Wide Beam? Yeah, was it?
The
I think it was just
first
Wide Beam.
time you were in Sector 5 was right after
don't
you
think I had
picked
any
up
ice.
Gravity. Right, you didn't have ice.
I just had, yeah, so I had regular missiles, no ice. I think I had Wide Beam. So doing those checks in 5, I mean, I already tried that kind of sort of in game 1. I know that's a jump you really can't make unless, oh, by the way, if you want to do another boom, TAS bomb boost to get up there, you're like, yeah, no. Did you happen to find space jump in game 2?
No.
Yeah, the space jump will remain a mystery.
We didn't see it from anyone in either seed today.
I'm looking at you, Yakuza. I know you have it in one of these games.
You know, I was actually trying to figure out if you were going to go for Yakuza and concluded that you wouldn't do it because if Space Jump was there, you didn't need it for anything else.
Exactly. Yep, exactly. Because I could make every other check imaginable. The only one that was still a question mark at the time was Gary. You saw me head in that direction early. I forget one of the 2 games, but I didn't have a good way to get up to the second Namihei neck room. Like, okay, nope. I'm gonna cut my losses. I checked Lava Maze. That's fine. We'll just do the rest of Sector 3. Got nothing. Got nothing out of it.
Well, with that, congratulations on the 3rd place finish, Lenophis. It really has been a pleasure watching you run and playing with you. And Reseren, congratulations on moving forward to the grand finals. You will be getting your rematch against Hercules Bench Press. So hopefully that new flash cart gets in soon. Herc. With that,
You know what? Everyone tie down Herc and make him wait until that flash cart arrives. How's that? You do not race without new flash cart. If you forfeit, that's fine, but you do not race without new flash cart.
No, just put his dog on him. That'll hold him down. That's such a cute dog. Such a cute dog.
I know.
Anyway, with that, I think that's about time to bid the lower bracketed you. Once again, the racers have been Reseren and Lenophis. Give them a follow. They are great runners and good streamers. And this has been Army of One, joined in the commentary booth by Autumn out of habit. Always a pleasure to be working with you, Autumn.
Absolutely. Love seeing this A+ commentary. But with that,
Okay.
thank you everyone for being here today, and also thank you to Summer for doing our tracking. And we will see you next mission.
See you later, everyone.